as we continue in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and picking up at verse 43, referring to the resurrection of the dead and our new bodies. We read this: "The old is sown in dishonour, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body." Many years ago, numbers of us were preparing for Christian ministry. And I remember the afternoon very well when those of us in our final year at seminary were taken to the local undertakers. Because for most of us growing up in my generation, although we'd heard about death, we had not necessarily seen a dead body. Of course, our forebears would not have recognized our contemporary experience. And so we went and we were to look at this dead body. Not gruesome, but nevertheless death. And as we stirred ourselves to enter into that room that contained the coffin, the reaction afterwards amongst us as students was one of either, when we left, everything was ridiculously funny, even when it wasn't, and humour supposedly covered the experience, or the opposite was the case. Some of us left the room quietly and didn't speak again for a number of hours. This is not a point about which was the correct reaction. It is a point to say death brings about reaction, and it should do. I happen to have been in the silent brigade. Now here Paul says, the body is sown in dishonour. There's nothing lovely about it after death. The contraction of muscles, decay setting in rapidly, people not wanting you to see it, and of course if there has been a difficult death, saying, "Oh, it'd be better if you didn't see," and that all of this raises huge pastoral issues. But we're looking at the resurrection of the body. It is sown in dishonour, and it's raised not in honour. No. It is raised in glory. Now, what kind of language is that, particularly in the Gospels? It is the language of the transfiguration. You remember that incident where Peter, James and John went up the mountainside with Jesus, and there was the appearance of both Moses and Elijah alongside Jesus. Take some moments to go back there and look at how the disciples experienced Jesus. Look at the transfiguration. Look at the light. Look at the glory and the weight of the activity of God that is there. Everything bursting out and bursting through of life from Jesus. And then recognize this. That's what's going to happen to you. Christ himself is the first fruits. He has been through death and is raised. But your resurrected body will be like unto his. Oh yeah, one day my body will be sown in dishonour. But I have, and you have, and we have the knowledge in our faith that it will be raised again in glory.